My name is Stan Fitzgerald. My wife David Fitzgerald and I are film producers and directors. We are on our third documentary. We do that in partnership with Veterans for America First. Jared Craig is the vice president on the national level. Our first film was called The Fall of Deceit, with John Flynn, Jody Heiss, Georgia Beck, and a lot of other very well-known people. And that was to push back on the FBI abuse and wrongful convictions targeting people across the country by the federal government, mostly politically targeted. Our second film is called Border Invasion, American Crisis. And just to David's point about the illegals and the gangs, last year we were out on the border. Our organization's been to the border a few times. The last year we were filming, and we had this retired special agent, Victor Avila. You might have seen on Newsmax and Fox. He works for Tom Homan, and he was translating for us with hundreds and thousands of people just walking across the open border, and most of them, when we were there, were from Venezuela, and he would ask them where they were going, and they would say Miami, Chicago, Atlanta. So yeah, they're coming here, the gangs are coming here, it's a huge problem. So it's one of the reasons why we really need to get David into office. We need to correct that and send these people back to wherever they came from. Our third film is called Veterans for Trump, the Movement. And it's a documentary not really about our organization, although a lot of our people are in it. It's about getting the vote out for President Trump. There's, I believe, about 17 million veterans in the country, and there's over 700,000 or 800,000 right here in Georgia. It's a very important voting bloc. And our goal is to motivate our people to join Trump Force 47, to go out and be the natural leaders that they are. And that'll really help on election day, early voting, getting the vote out for the president. We can't emphasize that enough, how important it is to see Trevor from the Trump campaign get involved. And with that, let me just say I'm not a veteran. Admiral Charles Kubik, our national spokesman, is a combat veteran. He was an advisor for President Trump during the 2016 campaign. He also built a portion of the southern border wall. Our president is Captain Rocco Ponicelli, also a veteran. He's very well known nationally, and he was endorsed by Rudy Giuliani when he ran for Congress. Lieutenant Colonel Bernie Flowers served in the Pentagon on 9/11. He was also a senior advisor to Homeland Security under Mayorkas, of all people. And he is our political director. Jeff Hoffman, out of Virginia, served under General Flynn, 20-year War College veteran. He is our national operations director. Jared Craig, as an attorney, was just recently named to the Trump campaign's election integrity team in Georgia. So he'll be out there working with the campaign and the RNC, keeping things legal. I believe it's a team of 100. Is that correct, Jared? So he's one of 100 lawyers in the state that will be protecting the vote. And Elizabeth Hegland is a former Nevada state senator. She's our team communications director and social media influencer. So I'm sure you can find her easily on social media. So real quick, let me just tell you, everyone likes to hear a President Trump story. So I have some good ones. My wife and I have met him 13 times. The first time we talked to him for a lengthy period in Bedminster, New Jersey in 2022. Congressman Heiss took us out to the hallway to talk to him, and that was the first time we met him. And he stood there talking, I honestly can't remember what he said because I was such an awe. But after the other times, we were obviously not so shocked and remember everything we talked about. But the story I wanted to tell you was in November 2022. Myself and members from Veterans for America First were invited to Mar-a-Lago for the president announcing his campaign for his presidency this cycle. And one of the things he said to us towards the end was, I'm a target, they're going to come after me. And he didn't mean that as rhetoric. Obviously, look at him, he's been indicted all over the place, legal warfare. And he said to us, every single one of you in the room, because you're all the high-profile people, you're the grassroots leaders, you're the donors, you're all going to be targets. And almost half the people in that room have been targets of not just investigations, from other governments, infiltration by the Communist Party. You know, we went through it. You know, I'm not going to get into details because it's in litigation. But they come in, they try to divide your grassroots organization, cause division, tear you apart. It's a reality. Trump's right, and you know, there's a joke for the last 7 years. Everyone always said, yeah, Trump's right about everything. You know what? He has been. And he told us this was going to happen, and it's exactly what happened. So it wasn't a fun story, it's just a somber story of what's going on and why we need to fight for this man, why you all need to get out there and do what you can. Because he really is the only thing standing between us and our freedom. So David Cavender at the county level, same story, and all the other great candidates here. So please get involved with the campaign because it's down ticket voting. And before I turn this over to Jared, just to let you know what we do, I want to thank Lucretia Hughes, who's sitting up here. She's an ambassador with us, and she has a show called Real News with Lucretia Hughes. She does it a couple ways. She has a Facebook streaming with 50,000 people. A lot of them are from Georgia, so it's very important for what we're doing here. And she was kind enough, even though she's a national speaker and she's in some state again, she was kind enough to come here and film this, and she can interview David and the other candidates outside while the film's playing. So when you see us walk out, we're not leaving, we're coming back. So thank you, Lucretia, for coming, and thank you, husband. So let me just turn this over to Jared Craig, just to keep for a couple of minutes and tell you about what the organization does, because at this point I'm just doing the educational projects. Thank you for your time.
First, I want to thank everybody in Cobb County for allowing us to come and screen the film here and show you guys what we've been doing. This is one of several projects that we've been doing, but I'm not running for office, even though I think David and I wore matching clothes for this photo. But nevertheless, I was a U.S. candidate, or congressional candidate, and that's what brought me to this organization. My main platform was veterans' rights, advocating for veterans. My family is multi-generational veterans. I've been an advocate for veterans. As an attorney, I've represented the veterans' issues in family law, criminal defense, and even though I'm not a veteran myself, I'm a thankful citizen. And I'm an active person out looking to benefit the veterans because they have made the sacrifice. They've made the deal that they're being brought with the resources that they were promised. But our projects are focused to inform the public, from our endorsements of candidates that we vet and confirm that they are truly America First agenda minded, to from top to bottom. We've endorsed in county commission offices, national races in the Senate and U.S. Congress, and everything in between, because we know that there is a vacuum of information that's missing to inform the voters who you're voting for. Unless you're active and coming to the county meetings, coming and going out, a lot of people without information. So we've been pounding the pavement since 2015, and I came into the organization in 2022 after my election didn't go as I planned, but nevertheless, I found myself a home with Veterans for America First, and we've been allowed to work hand in hand with the Trump campaign. I myself am a Trump Force 47 captain also, in addition to working the lawyer oversight for voter integrity. I don't know how to quit fighting, so part of the fight is doing these projects to educate the public, educate what the agenda is, why we're fighting for these rights, who else is in the fight with us, and where your vote counts the best. So I want you to enjoy the film. It's been a lot of work putting it together. I'm looking forward to seeing it also. I've seen all of the pieces, but not all together. So I'll be also watching it for the first time. So did anyone have a question about the film or what we're doing? I just want to leave it out there in case someone had any questions. All right. Well, I'm sorry.
How long is it?
The film, I believe, is right at 1 hour.
And it's entertaining, you won't be bored.
Thank you. And I will say it is very up to date. It actually, I don't want to give away the ending, but it does actually have the first assassination attempt in it. So it's very relevant. And lastly, to sum everything up, we are in a church, so how would I not?
Early 2016, I was asked by then candidate Donald Trump to become one of his national security policy advisors. And it was at that time that I was also introduced to a grassroots organization called Veterans for Trump.
Among all other demographics in this country, it will be the veterans that can sway the vote. We're good leaders, we're good organizers.
Our primary mission at Veterans for America First, our grassroots mission, is to get President Trump reelected for the third time.
Donald Trump wins the presidency.
And the black community, we loved him.
President Trump has been fantastic to veterans across the nation.
Stanley and David Cavender, thank you very much.
The 2020 election was stolen, and we all know it.
Joseph R. Biden Jr. is elected the 46th president of the United States.
America is failing under the Biden regime.
A lot of the policies that come from the left just lead into lawlessness.
An illegal immigrant charged with the murder of a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student, Laken Riley.
Crime continues to surge in big cities across the country.
Inflation remains a near 40-year high.
Woke stuff is like a religion.
Biden proclaims Easter Sunday as Trans Day of Visibility.
The leftists have nearly completely captured our classrooms, all of them.
The careless and dangerous political agendas that aim to target and influence our kids needs to end.
I believe that we are on the brink of this nation falling apart.
President Trump is coming for the deep state to hold these bastards accountable.
You know, so most people don't remember what they had for breakfast yesterday, but most people remember their wallet on how it was under Donald Trump, because you had more spending money, your dollar was worth more.
And President Trump, back in Commander-in-Chief, I would go back to re-enlist today.
When President Trump came down that escalator in 2015, he declared war on the establishment. He declared war on the radical left. And those of us who've enlisted to help him, we are veterans fighting this battle to save America.
You do not have to be a military veteran to be involved in this movement.
Fight, fight, fight.
You should go to TrumpForce47.com and register to support President Trump.
This political regime has made us look weak on a national stage, and therefore that puts a target on our back, and none of us are safe.
In the end, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I'm just standing in their way.